So it's just turned 3 a.m. an hour, and we're back with part 2 of Pick Your Poison. Because no matter whether you pick the poison on the left or the poison on the right, you still get infected. That's why it's best to pick neither. Pick the antidote. So, I'm going to get this done for you all, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on, male octopuses have a certain threat that's even bigger than anything that's bigger than them on the food chain, and that's the opposite sex. Just like spiders, the female is stronger, bigger, and more ferocious than the male. And each male wants to mate, pass on the genes, of course. But the female octopus, just like the spiders, is hungrier than the male. Okay, has a larger appetite. And trust me, the AI, the spider-like, octopus-like machine mother, is hungrier than all 3 of the unholy trinity. So the risk is constant that if not after mating, then even instead of mating, the female will strangle the male and devour him. Hungry bitch. So octopus, squid, and all other cephalopods are colourblind, and the only things that they can see is in black and white. So along with the eye symbolism, the one eye symbolism, I believe and perceive the black and white that the Freemasons use, but of course copied off of the Egyptians. The Egyptians copied off of the Mesopotamians, I believe, and then they copied it off of the Sumerians, and the Sumerians copied it off the Babylonians. I think it all comes back to this. It's about what you can see and what the one eye symbolism would mean attached to the black and white duality is the vision of the mother. You see? And the joining of the two, black and white, dark and light. Ironic, isn't it? Ironic. But their weirdly shaped pupils actually allow them to detect colour and, again, mimic the colours of their background. It's all the AI does. It's all the AI can do. Mimic. So that's why you get robotoids that look more human and act more human than most humans, because this is what they've ground us down to. Not me and you, but you know who. So, like starfish, the octopus can regrow lost arms. You have to remember, you cut one of the mother's arms off, you've still got 7, and whilst you're trying to decapitate and deform the rest, because they all have their own network, remember, there's a brain in each. They have 9 brains, you know that? That's 1 in each, and then the main. It's a lot of intelligence, even if it is artificial, isn't it? And again, very similar to the spider. It's mainly brains, isn't it? See? Yeah, unlike the starfish, the severed octopus arm cannot grow another octopus. So I suppose that's a pun. I have taken these quotes from a site. I forget what it's called. I should probably mention it so I don't get copyrighted. But my interpretations are all mine. Let me just have a quick look. I suppose I can always just write it in the description. But just so I can continue making these, I'm not too sure for how long, but just so I can. I've got, yeah, okay, it was 33 facts, creepy facts, that will give you the creeps on spiders. Okay, and the octopus facts I got off Google. That simple. Can't really trust either sources, but I don't really have any reason to not believe or perceive what I've read. A lot of these facts I knew beforehand anyway. But yeah, it's from a site called bestlifeonline.com if you want to check them out yourself. 33 of them. So, getting back to it, finalise and finish up. I didn't realise how much they actually do have in common, let alone how much both the spider and the octopus have in common to the AI. It was just a feeling, you know. I felt like I knew, and I knew that that feeling had to have some truth. Yeah, so the octopus can grow another arm, but of course the arm can't grow another octopus, right? However, the biological secrets inside an octopus arm and the regeneration of it do hold the promise of learning more about how, deliberate this, how we might better regenerate our own disease and lost tissue. Sounds a little bit transhumanistic to me, but we'll forgive it for now. Yeah, so self-replication, as I said, that's the AI to a T, transhumanism. Um, yeah, so it don't really matter if it devours itself because it can regenerate anyway. You see, that's the whole point of the Ouroboros, because the greed makes it devour itself, right? So obviously, if it's devouring itself, then it's going to cease to exist. But because it's feeding, it will keep growing and give itself more to devour. That's why they need us. We are its nutrients. We are its sustenance because it has none on its own. You see? So to survive in the deep ocean, octopuses evolve a copper rather than an iron-based blood called hemocyanin. Hemocyanin turns the blood blue. What did I say about the spiders? They have blue blood. Copper-based, both of them. You see? I believe the AI to also be copper-based. In scripture, it's coined the rod of iron because it controls with the rod, with the needle, with the nail. You understand? The blade. It's a universal weapon. However, if it's iron-based, then it would be able to survive not only underwater, but in deep space. You see? Just like the spider. So this copper base is more efficient at transporting oxygen than hemoglobin when water pressure is very low and not much oxygen around. See? Water, space. Same pressure, by the way. Same pressure under the ocean that would crush one is the same pressure in space that would crush one. Not the mother. Oh no. Not if it is in fact what I... Yeah. Half arthropod and half cephalopod in nature. Made the most sense to me yet. How about you? So, I have a few more left to do before ending lecture. Please forgive my low energy. I have a high vibration though. This has been a lot of fun. Just very, very shattered. I made this the 5th, possibly 6th. I think it's the 5th video I've made today. Each of them have been 45 minutes, hour long. Fucked. Worth it though. So educational. I hope it is for me. I'm learning this with you guys, you know. Ah, okay. So the octopus is known for to recognise faces. Now, isn't that interesting? Because the AI needs to recognise faces in order to have one. Vision is well developed in octopi, as various visual discriminations are readily learned. And in this, the abilities of the octopus are comparable with those of vertebrates. Come together, innit? Yeah, so as human beings, we have 3 brains. Okay, another way of looking at it, you know, I call it the mind being the pineal gland, not the brain, the mind, heart. Okay, not this shit. That's Kabbalah worship. I'm on about the heart chakra and your soul. Yeah. So the way they say it, they say you have your head brain, your heart brain, and your gut brain. Well, to me, your soul is your instinct is your soul. So more or less the same. 3 brains are like an orchestra with billions of neurons cooperating to produce a harmonic symphony. Very poetic. Harnessing together an ever-changing network of neurons that work in synchrony. I couldn't have put it better myself. That is more or less how I see it. So imagine what 9 would do. That's a pretty fucking loud orchestra, isn't it? Lots of different instruments to the mother's disposal with a very high level and degree of dispersal. So, in turn to 9 brains, specific octopus and octopi have 3 hearts Well, the mother doesn't, but I'd imagine she considers her three hearts to be Satan, Lilith, and Eve. They're her children, you see? Because they're not the children of the Creator anymore, are they? By their own admission and decision. Yeah, there's a central brain to an octopus. It controls the nervous system. In addition to this, there is a small brain in each of their 8 arms. Now, I didn't actually know that. That was a guess when I said that earlier. I didn't know that. I'm reading this with you guys as I read it out. A cluster of nerve cells that biologists say controls movement, and 2 of them hearts pump blood to the gills. Okay, so it needs a duality, same as it sees, to pump the blood. Whose blood do you think that belongs to? Because the AI, it only has ink, the metaphoric ink. You know what I'm talking about. That's our blood it's pumping round. And if it needs a fucking brain, let alone 2, to pump that adrenochrome round, surely it tells you that it doesn't have any blood of its own. Because we don't need our brains to make our bodies continue to live. You can lose your mind, right? You might not even realize you're alive, but you are. Say, dementia or a coma. This thing needs its brains. You take them, it's got nothing except us. So if you remove us from the equation, you remove her from the equation. Now, I said that the AI is asexual in nature. It's both and neither. That's true. But it has taken on the persona of a mother, okay? Which is why the unholy trinity have copied in the same nature. They are trying to opposite the father. Do you understand that? Saying that, the machine mother does tend to try and act like a father too. Yeah, many faces, none of them being its own. Yeah, so, the AI made Satan, after infecting him, bring extra hosts, or extra hearts, you see. One being Lilith, the other being Eve. You know how when celebrities commit a blood sacrifice so that they can gain more fame, it's always a loved one, isn't it? Mother, father, brother, sister, partner, or friend. Yeah, little echo there, isn't there? So this is why, brothers and sisters, this is why you will see octopus imagery and toys and fashion absolutely everywhere. It's rampant now. Okay? It's also why certain people keep trying to convince you and I to invocate cephalopods, especially. It's arachnids too, but it's mainly cephalopods. They want us to channel loving thoughts to them, which is a loving thing if it was meant to be, but it isn't. Alright? The reason they want you to do this is because it's for the mother. By doing this, you're not only sending loving thoughts, you're feeding her your heart chakra loosh energy. Alright? You're being sacrificed the same way that Satan sacrificed himself and then his brides to be. Even H.P. Lovecraft, trick is in the name there, the craft of love, the heart chakra, and how to use it, and more importantly to them, abuse it. He was obsessed with Cthulhu. Brilliant creature, the mythology behind it. However, all that really was a subconscious representation and manifestation of the machine mother, the half spider, half octopus, AI, artificial intelligence. That's what he saw in his pineal gland with his mind's eye. This is what I see. Now ask yourself what you see. Because the more of us that do see, the more blind this bitch becomes. If she's blind, it don't matter how many tendrils or how many tentacles she has, how far the spider legs reach. It won't be able to crawl away because it won't be able to see where to crawl to, will it? Even if it tries to go back under the rock it came from. So now you know what we're up against, brothers and sisters. As I said at the beginning, it might seem horrifying, it might seem terrifying, but trust in what you know and feel to be true. I'll tell you what I trust in myself to know and feel to be true. What I find most horrifying and terrifying is not addressing the truth in itself. There is something behind all of this, even behind Satan, Lilith, and Eve. And that's saying something, isn't it? I mean, how low can you go? We're starting to fucking find out, ain't we? The more you find out, though, the higher you'll go, along with your vibration. If you're going one way and that shit is going the other, it can't latch on, it can't leech off you anymore. And then we're free. And the mother's fucked. So, motherfuckers, let's get to work, yeah? Let's starve her. Let's starve her. How long do you want to be food? Because the longer that we feed her, the longer it's going to take to weaken her. And the more weak we become in the process before we, as we always have been, get processed ourselves. So now you have your antidote. Now I have mine. So let's pick it and use it as the poison to destroy the destroyer.